In this week's edition of Tutorial Tuesday, I'm going to talk a little bit about pitch containers. What I've got here is a big pitch tray that I've made. And a lot of times, most people just have pitch bowls. This is a standard 8-inch pitch bowl that you can buy from a jewelry store. And these are great for small stuff because you could rotate them around and tilt them in different angles. But a lot of times I like to do, larger stuff. This is my portfolio. A lot of people don't realize the scale of it. And this is a wall hanging that I did not too long ago. I need larger places to stick this in because you can't work that on a pitch bowl. So I make these big trays out of 3/4 inch plywood and 2x2s, and this one holds about 75 pounds of pitch, so it creates a nice solid working surface. The way I create these, like I said, is I just cut out a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood and screw in from behind some 2x2s. That gives me an 1.5 inch depth, and I find that sufficient as long as I'm doing low relief stuff like this. If I'm doing something like this, that would be a different technique that I'll talk about. But for smaller stuff like that, if you're doing trays or bowls or platters, stuff like that, anything with some depth, you might need to go a little bit deeper than this, maybe 2 or 3 inches. But for 1/4 to 1/2 inch relief, this is fine. And if you're doing something like I've got this over here, you're doing something like this, what you could do is fill this backside up with pitch and then stick it back on top of here. Or you could kind of puddle it up when you're working on the backside. You kind of puddle it up and then stick this on top. That way you've still got that depth underneath. If you're doing something like this, which is a really complex shape, you can see this. What I like to do is use the Hvac tape that's available at Home Depot. It's the HVAC Hvac tape, and it's like a metallic. I don't know if I've got any around here. It's a metallic tape that's really sticky. And what you do is you can create a dam with it and create a nice level surface, and you can pour your pitch into there, and then once it dries you just peel the tape off and mount that on top of something, a piece of hardwood or on top of a tray like this or whatever. And typically I'll work this either flat on a table or I'll put it on top of my sandbag. That way I can tilt it in different ways and just work on the part that's on top of my sandbag. And to heat something large like this, I use these big weed burner torches that are just hooked up to a propane tank, and just fan the whole thing really gently with a bushy flame, and make sure it's melted, say 1/4 inch deep or something before I stick the piece in. And it works really well. So that's my take on large containers and an easy way to do large pieces. So I think that's it for this week's edition of Tutorial Tuesday. If you have any questions, comments, or something you'd like me to talk about in the future, please let me know. Have a nice day.